You're here in the right place at the right time. Wherever you are in the world, you're in the right place at the right time. Now, you've got to realize that and realize where you're at. We, in the last year, when we Vic. So back to the right place at the right time, but I'm going to bring Vic out first because he's badass. Now, poor Tony Rush, Vic. You as a fair perspective, I know you've been marketing for a long time and you have loyal followers because you're consistent to a lot of things we would talk about. But I wanted to get a couple perspectives because you come from just a dramatically different marketing background. And a lot of other people on here too, except for Shakir's from similar background, different strategies a day. And then you came to our event and your whole team came. And they were from weird places, like Bulgaria and Russia and China and South America. And, I think you had somebody from everywhere there. And people just love you. It was a really interesting thing to see because I'd never met you before. He'd actually hit me up on Skype and he said, Dave, I'm going to bring a lot of people in. And my brain kind of said, okay, whatever,
Prices is good enough. Everybody butchers it, man. Don't worry about it.
I'm actually curious how to say it. I should pay attention one day. So I'm really fascinated both on why you came here, why you're still here, and why you're focusing here, and also on why does so many people get all in who you bring in? Because it's not like, we got people who get all in a lot through Empower Network, and people are always surprised how many people will, yeah, sure.
Yeah, awesome, good stuff. Well, by the way, and attract over 100,000 people in less than 2 years. You don't do that kind of stuff, right? Unless you have something, unless you have the right intention, unless you have something more than just a product or compensation plan, right? And so, Dave, why am I here is because of your vision. It is because what you guys want to do with, in this industry. And it totally aligned with what I wanted to do, in the industry, because I was looking for an opportunity. I mean, I was teaching people how to, how to get traffic. People say, Vic, what's the, the best traffic method that's out there, and, how to get traffic, how to get conversions. All of this stuff is important, but you know what? Even though, would not have something that they could believe in when they promoted it, right? So here's one golden nugget I'm going to give you guys. The first one, okay? First of many I'm going to drop onto you tonight. First one is this. If you don't believe in what you're doing out there on the internet, guys, if you're promoting stuff right now and if you're kind of like scattered around, right? You're dipping your hands a little bit with Empower and a little bit with affiliate marketing, a little bit with that company, I might be wrong. But this thinking has, created a lifestyle for me that I think most people want to dream about, and not because I'm somebody special, not because I have some magical abilities. No, I started out. There, you saw that video, right? I started out living, in an apartment with my wife and I when we got married, and but see, what I wanted for myself is I wanted more than I had. Right. And so I think, see what I see kind of looking back and from, coaching a lot of people and looking back on my personal life, right? If you have that mentality, my friend, you're going to fail. I'll just tell you straight up, you're going to fail because you have plan B. You're not all in. You're not, subconsciously, you're not 100% focused. Right. See, when I got started, I had to borrow $30,000 to get started. And for me, this wasn't a game. For me, this was not, I'm going to give it a try and see how it's going to work. I actually quit my job. I actually bought in my mind, in my heart of hearts, deep down, I just knew that somehow it's going to work out. And I treat this like a business. Okay. Some of you guys are getting started with this, some of you guys started with Empower Network, and Dave, can I just do a straight talking question? They say, well, tell me what the secret to success, and you tell them what the secret to success is, and they say, no, tell me something else. I don't want to do that. Tracy, you know what I'm talking about, right? You've been talking about that. And it's like, you just do what I tell you, right? And you will have what I have, folks, okay? We've got 2,000, 3,000, I don't know how many people we got here, right? If you just say whatever is going on, I'll just kind of put blinders on, right? And focus on this thing. If you want to know a secret to success, okay? Say, Vic, what's the secret? What's the number one thing? I'm going to tell you this. Focus, okay? I want to write this down. Focus. And here's what I mean by focus, right? So when you focus, here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to focus on. First of all, you got to get laser focused on exactly what you want for your life. Okay, so right. So set yourself, and I always tell this. I always teach this to my people and my team, and and even people who private clients. I mean, the first thing is you got to know exactly what you want, and it has to be written down. You have to look at it. You have to see it in front of you. You have to know it. And I just used to drive around those streets, just around those houses, and I was just, I knew that, one day, this is me living in an apartment, but as I'm driving, I would just, every couple of days, every 3 days, 2 to 3 days, I would just, for no reason, look at cars. I would just look at, the Mercedes, the BMWs, and $100,000 vehicles and $200,000 vehicles. I was just walking around them, and I would imagine myself, having that vehicle. It was in my mind, it was already a done deal. It was just, and when you do something, you don't get that. Like, I don't remember who said this, but if you don't know where you're going, any road will take. I think Trace, you said this, right? Any road will take you there. So it's very, very true, folks. If you're listening to this, just take note, right? You got to be very, very specific about what you want to accomplish. So next thing, talking about focusing is, like I said, you got to believe you can do it. And listen, you're hearing success story after success story. It's if you just bombard your mind with success stories, right? And stop listening to the naysayers, stop listening to the people at work, stop listening to the people who are going to tell you that you can't do it. Just ignore them, right? Don't spend time with them, and just bombard your mind with success story after success story after success story, right? Listen, subscribe to Success Magazine, right? I would recommend that. I get that magazine. I just read it because, there was a bunch of stories of people who were broke, started out with nothing, and achieved tremendous levels of success. And how did they do that kind of stuff, right? I was always fascinated by that stuff. How does one go from being completely broke to, becoming a millionaire, a multi-millionaire in a very short time? What do they do, right? How do they think? And this is more important. It's not, people, you can get rich. What goes on in their mind when they go bankrupt, okay? On their journey, it's gonna pull you, right? When the going gets tough, when you hit some roadblocks, that kind of stuff is gonna allow you to move forward, right? And it's not gonna allow you to quit, because you will have what you call it. You'll have that awareness, right? That the stuff you might be going through, the challenges you might be going through in life right now. Listen, it's not going to be like that, forever for you, right? It's going to change. So, but having a crystal clear outcome is very, very important. So, right now you're with Empower Network, okay, guys. If you get nothing out of this, nothing else out of this, hangout tonight, right? Which I think is going to be very, very difficult to pull off, because there's so many, just golden nuggets being dropped all over the place, golden bombs, right? But here's the deal, folks. Okay, you can make your dreams become reality right here, right? Okay, not only buying all the products, which is important, and why? Because listen, it's a business. You want to make more money, right? You want to make more money, you got to be positioned for success. Just people ask me, Vic, how did you make the kind of money you make with Empower in a very short period of time? Because listen, when I was getting in, to me it was a no-brainer, because I understand that this is a business. This is not a hobby, right? If you're gonna treat this like a hobby, you're gonna dip your hands and just go in for $25 or whatever, And people say, Vic, you don't understand, man. I don't have money. And to those people, I say, listen, it doesn't matter what your situation is. I had to borrow $30,000 to get started. right? So nobody's going to come to me and nobody's going to tell me, Vic, you don't understand my situation. Because my situation was, I dug myself a hole, $30,000 to get started, right? Wasted through 20 of it and had absolutely zero money coming in. And I had to make a decision. Do I pursue my dream, or do I go back to find another job, or do I go and hop to something else? And you know what? I was laser focused. I did not switch companies. I did not switch companies at that time, right? But I seeked out, I deliberately started to, I got myself a mentor, which, heck, you're over here, you got mentors right here. Just look at the panel, right? Go to the 15K formula. I mean, just the information you give here. I used to pay thousands, tens of thousands of dollars for the same information that is being taught right here in Power Network. Okay, so it's not like you have to pay, $500 an hour to some mentor to coach you on this kind of stuff, because this is what I had to do in the beginning. I actually had to pay a guy $500 per hour to coach me on the stuff that you guys learn in Power Network, 15K formula, right? Dave, the Masters Retreat, man, that thing is off the hook, brother. I mean, it's if somebody's not willing to take their resources, their time, and just study that material, you don't care what's going on the outside. Okay, you get focused. When you see people making money, there's absolutely no reason you can't do the same. Make sense? So positioning yourself for success is very, very important. And the reason, Dave, one of your questions was how is that I believe that a lot of people are going all in, is because if you have that conviction inside of you, okay. When I talk to my team members, when I talk to my family members, my sister got involved, right? And when I talk to people, I just tell them to go all in. That's it. Just go all in. Okay. If you cannot afford to go all in right away, get all in as soon as possible. Okay. Borrow the money, put it on the credit